Hello and welcome to the channel. Today I'm going to be talking about unwanted weight gain. There's very few of us who want to put on weight at this time of our lives, but unfortunately during perimenopause and menopause, unwanted weight gain is actually a common issue and women find it quite distressing. I mean, it's awful. You go to put on your summer clothes from last year when it gets to this summer and there's no way you're going to get them on, or if you do, you think, oh no, that really doesn't look like it did before. So it can actually be quite distressing. It does depend, I know, on your view of your own self-image. We're all different shapes and sizes, so if you are happy with your shape and size, that's fine. But unfortunately, the majority of women, when they get to this stage of their lives, that they're not happy with it. They're not doing anything different. They're not eating more. They're not exercising less. But all of a sudden, they've put on several pounds or even several stones. So it's not good. The main thing to remember is your hormones are really acting on this, because like everything else in your body, your hormones govern so much, and the way that you retain weight and distribute the weight is partly hormonal. So when your hormones are going up and down, it's going to mess it about a bit, unfortunately. And women going through perimenopause and onwards after that tend to find that their fat distribution in their body is no longer a general all over plumpness. They don't suddenly become like a little bit more buxom and you go, you know, nice Marilyn Monroe hips. Unfortunately, it's stuck at the front and it is like male pattern weight retention, as it were. It's like a beer belly, or you feel like you look like you did when you were pregnant if you've had children. So yeah, it gets distressing, and if you're uncomfortable with it and you're trying to get it off and then you find it's really quite hard, it can be disheartening. But the thing is, don't give up. Remember that you're a little bit older now. Your hormones are, well, acting against you, I suppose, when it comes to weight and fat distribution. But it doesn't mean you can't fight back. So you can fight back by, there's a simple fact, and I read this and I didn't know this until recently, that once you go into perimenopause, you need about, on average, we're all different, but on average about 200 calories a day less. And to get rid of those excess calories shouldn't mean getting rid of the good stuff you're eating. You still need all the same nutrients for a healthy diet, a healthy lifestyle, okay, make you feel better, and also to help with the other menopausal symptoms. So one of the best ways, well, several of the best ways actually, I suppose, of eking out some more calories but without being hungry or unhealthy, and doing the best for your health, is to get rid of like the, I don't know what you call them, wasted calories, the simple carbohydrates. For example, you need to reduce your simple carbs. So things like white bread, white rice, then you've got your pasta, and of course white sugar. There's been quite a big thing in recent years about, you know, your sugars. So, and we all know that if you eat lots of sugary stuff, it ain't good for you. It's not good for your teeth, it's not good for your waistline, it's not good for your health. So you need to cut those simple carbohydrates back, and then you can get rid of the calories in that way while still eating your rainbow of fruits and vegetables. You can still have your healthy fats, such as, you know, as you get in your avocados and your nuts and so on. Get rid of the empty calories, the simple carbohydrate. If you cut them back and even change them for wholemeal versions of your bread, your pasta, your rice and so on, but reduce the quantity, you're not going to be hungry, you're still going to be healthy. But yeah, cut out the unnecessary things. It doesn't mean you can't have a treat now and again, but it does have to be now and again. So you can still have a bit of birthday cake if you go to a party or something. But yeah, if you can get those calories down, you do need to try and increase your exercise. Always easier said than done. We're all a little bit poor on time, you know, busy lives, one thing and another. But you don't have to train to run a marathon and run a marathon every few months to do that. So 30 minutes of brisk exercise at least 5 times a week. Can be just be, you know, your brisk walking, you can go swimming, you can do some cycling, you can mix it up, you can chop and change, and you can split it into segments. If you can't do 30 minutes all in one go, you can do a 10-minute walk up to, I don't know whether you get the bus or you do a 10-minute walk because you go into your local shops, and then you can do another 10 minutes later and another time. But keep it brisk and keep it regular, at least 5 times a week. And then of course, women, as women we are running around a lot. We're running around a lot after other people, and there's gardening and there's cleaning and there's decorating and there's got to rush here and got to rush there. And if you've got, you know, teenage children still at home, you've got school runs, you've got to do all this kind of thing. But keep this 30 minutes as an extra on top of your normal rushing around. Like I say, break it up if you need to, but keep that as an extra. That really helps. So get your calories down, look at what you're eating, you know, simple carbohydrates, sugars, and what kind of fats you're eating, and get that little bit of extra exercise, you know, over the week overall. Alcohol is another thing as well. I am a fan of my dry white wine, and it is really full of sugar, so I have tried to cut mine back, and I'm good most of the time, not all of the time. So it's not just what you're eating, it's what you're drinking. So sugary drinks are out, whether they're non-alcoholic or alcoholic. If you put sugar in tea or coffee, just little by little reduce the amount of sugar you're putting in it. It all helps, it all builds up. And if you make changes a bit at a time, little by little, instead of suddenly going on some mad kind of health kit, you're more likely to stick to it, because you're giving your mind and your body time to adjust to the little change, little change, little change. And within a few weeks or a few months, your diet is going to have changed quite a lot, and you'll find that it either helps you to get the weight off, stops it from going on, or stops it from going any higher. In fact, if you do all those changes, you're likely to lose the weight. But we are all different, and you have to experiment with what works for you. So remember, don't do drastic steps, a little at a time. So there's my tips on the weight gain. It is a difficult one to address because we are all different, and different things affect different people's bodies, but the general rules about, you know, simple carbohydrates and increasing your exercise generally go for all of us, every single one of us. So I hope you found it helpful. And if you would like to see any more videos in the series, I'm going to be putting a lot more on different subjects with lots of tips. If you would like to click the notification bell, which I believe is below the video, and if you would like to subscribe to the channel, there's a little button to click below the video too. That's all for now. I'll see you soon.